Hello everyone, in this video we'll be solving problems from exercise 2.3 from the chapters relations and functions. So the first problem is which of the following relations or functions give reasons. If it is a function, then determine its range and domain. So we have to figure out if the given relations are functions, and then if it is a function, then we have to write the domain and the range. So the first relation we have is 2, 1, 5, 1, 8, 1, 11, 1, 14, 1 and 17, 1. So first we have to determine if this relation is a function. So to do that, we'll write on set A, which contains all the x values. That is nothing but 2, 5, 8, 11, 14 and 17. Then we'll take set B, which has terms of all the y values, that is 1. So to determine if this relation is a function, then all the terms from set A should have only one image in set B, or it should be linked to only one term in set B. So we'll draw an image to understand this. So we have set A here with 2, 5, 8, 11, 14 and 17, and we have set B with the term 1. So this is set A and this is set B. So 2 is linked to 1, 5 is linked to 1, 8 is linked to 1, 11 is linked to 1, 14 is linked to 1 and 17 is linked to 1. So we see that all the terms here is linked to just one term in set B, or all the terms here as just one image in set B. So this is indeed a function. So we can write function f from set A to set B. So since this is a function, we have to find the domain and the range. So the domain will be all the values of x, that is 2, 5, 8, 11, 14 and 17, and the range will be all the values of y or set B, which is 1. So coming to the second question, we have the relation 2, 1, 4, 2, 6, 3, 8, 4, 10, 5, 12, 6 and 14, 7. Similar to the previous question, we have to see if this is a function. So we'll write down set A again with all x terms, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and 14, and we'll write down set B with all the y values, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So similar to previous problem, 2 is linked to 1, 4 is linked to 2, 6 is linked to 3, 8 is linked to 4, 10 is linked to 5, 12 is linked to 6 and 14 is linked to 7. So we see that all terms from set A are linked to only one term in set B. So that means all terms in set A has only one image in set B. So we can tell that this is a function. So we can write function f from set A to set B. So the domain for this function will be nothing but all terms in set A, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and 14. And the range of this function will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, all terms from set B. So now coming to the third question, we have a relation 1, 3, 1, 5 and 2, 5. So again we'll write down set A with all x terms, that is 1 and 2, and we'll write down set B with all y values, that is 3 and 5. So in this one we see that if we draw a diagram for this, so we have set A with 1 and 2 and we have set B with 3 and 5. So we see that 1 is linked to both 3 and 5, 2 is linked just to 5. So since 1 has 2 images in set B, or 1 is linked to 2 numbers in set B, this is not a function. So since this is not a function, we cannot define any domain and range for this problem. So coming to the second question, find the domain and range of the following real functions. So we have two functions which we have to find the domain and range. So the first function is f of x is equal to minus mod x. So we have to find the domain and range for this. So first we see that the first function is a mod. So a mod function always gives a positive value. That is, let's take an example here. So if we take mod of plus 1, we'll get the answer as 1. If we take mod of minus 1, we'll still get the answer as 1. So since for any value positive or negative, we get the answer as positive itself. And we see here we have a negative sign here. So we know that this term gives only positive values, and multiplying with this with negative sign gives us that the answer will always be a negative value or 0. So the answer for this function can only be negative or 0. It cannot have any positive answer. And since we have x here and it is a real function, we can substitute any value or any real number into this function. So since we can substitute any real number here, the domain for this will be R, or all the real numbers, that is from minus infinity to plus infinity. And coming to the range, since we found out that the answer can only be a negative value or 0, the numbers will start from minus negative all the way till 0, which includes 0. So this is the range of the function and this is the domain of the function. So the next question we have is f of x is equal to 9 minus x square. So we have to find the domain and range of this function. So we know that x square, which is a square function, will always give positive value. So we'll take an example here. 2 square is equal to 4, minus 2 square is also equal to 4. So whenever we square any number, positive or negative, we'll get the answer as positive itself. So we know that x square is positive. So next we have a square root function here and we have 9 minus x square. We know that we cannot have any negative number inside the square root. So we have to take 9 minus x square should be greater than or equal to 0. This has to be the condition. So from this we'll get to know that x square should be less than or equal to 9. So if you want x square less than or equal to 9, then x should be greater than minus 3 or equal to minus 3 or less than or equal to 3. So it should take values between minus 3 and plus 3. So since we can take only values between minus 3 and plus 3 for x, this will become the domain for the function. So next we have to calculate the range of the function. So since you know x square is a positive value, so the lowest value x square can take will be equal to 0 and the highest value x square can take will be equal to 9. So these are the two extreme values. So for x square should be equal to 0, then we have to take x should be equal to 0, then f of x will get it as 9. So if x is equal to 0, x square will be equal to 0, then f of x will be equal to 9. So root of 9 will be plus 3 and then we have x square is equal to 9. If you want x square is equal to 9, then we have to take x is equal to minus 3 or plus 3. So if you take x is equal to minus 3 or plus 3, we'll get f of x as root of 0, which is nothing but 0. So all the values for this function will be between 0 and plus 3. So the range of the function will be 0, 3, where 0 and 3 are included in the range. Coming to the third question, a function f is defined as f of x is equal to 2x minus 5. So we have to write down the values for the following cases. So we have f of x is equal to 2x minus 5 and we have to find first one f of 0, second one f of 7 and third one f of minus 3. So by f of 0, f of 7, f of minus 3, they mean that x should be equal to 0, 7 and minus 3. So we have to substitute x is equal to 0, 7 or minus 3 in 2x minus 5. So for the first one we'll take 2x minus 5, which is equal to 2 into 0 minus 5, which is nothing but 0 minus 5, which is equal to minus 5. So when f of x is equal to 0, we get the answer as minus 5, which is equal to f of 0. So we'll go to the second one, which is f of 7. So we'll have 2 into 7 minus 5. We are substituting 7 in place of x, which is equal to 14 minus 5, which is equal to 9. So we'll get f of 7 as 9 in this case. The third one is f of minus 3. So we have 2 into minus 3 minus 5. So we'll get minus 6 minus 5, which is equal to minus 11. So f of minus 3 will give minus 11. So these are the three values for this question. So coming to the fourth question, the function t which maps temperature in degrees into temperature in degree Fahrenheit is defined as t of c is equal to 9c by 5 plus 32. We have to find t of 0, t of 28, t and t of minus 10. And the fourth question is value of c when t of c is 212. So it's been given that t of c is equal to 9c by 5 plus 32, which is equal to f. So f here is temperature in Fahrenheit and c here is temperature in degree Celsius. So the first term we have is t of 0. So we have to substitute 9 into 0 by 5 plus 32, which is nothing but 0 plus 32, which is equal to 32. So when c is equal to 0, we get 32 degree Fahrenheit. So the second term is t of 28. So we get 9 into 28 by 5 plus 32. So when we solve this, we get 412 by 5. So when Xc is equal to 28, we get 412 by 5 Fahrenheit. Coming to the third one, so we have T of minus 10, which is nothing but 9 into minus 10 by 5 plus 32. So if we solve this, we'll get 14. So when T is equal to minus 10, we get 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is the answer for when C is equal to minus 10. And the fourth one is when T of C is equal to 212. This is nothing but 212 is equal to 9C by 5 plus 32. So we have to find the value of C, which gives 212. So if we solve this, we get 212 minus 32, which is equal to 9C by 5, which is equal to 180 into 5 by 9 is equal to C. So once we solve this, we get that C is equal to 100 degrees Celsius. So when we have C is equal to 100, we get T of C as 212. Coming to the fifth question, find the range of each of the following functions. So we have to find the range for the function. So the first function we have is f of x is equal to 2 minus 3x. X belongs to all real numbers and x should be greater than 0. So first we'll see the x term. We have minus 3x. So since x should be greater than 0, we can tell that x is always a positive number. And since we have minus 3 being multiplied to x, we can tell that minus 3x will always be a negative number. And this negative number is being subtracted by 2. So you can tell that f of x will always be less than 2. It cannot be equal to 2, because if it's equal to 2, then we have x is equal to 0. So let me write here, if we take x is equal to 0, then we get that f of x is equal to 2 minus 0, which is equal to 2. But we cannot take x is equal to 0 because x is defined as greater than 0. So all the values of x will be less than 2. And since x can be all real numbers, x can take any value. So the smallest value f of x can be take is f of x is equal to minus infinity. So the range of this function will be minus infinity till 2. So you see here that 2 is not included in the range, because if we include 2 in the range, we have to take x is equal to 0. So we cannot take x is equal to 0 because it is defined that x is greater than 0. So this is the range of the function. So coming to the next function, we have f of x is equal to x square plus 2 and x belongs to all real numbers. So like discussed previously, x square will always give positive values, and the smallest value x square can take will be x square is equal to 0. So this is the smallest value x square can take. And now we see that x square is being added to 2. So the smallest value f of x can take is f of x is equal to 0 plus 2, which is equal to 2. That is when x is equal to 0. We see that f of x will take 2. And the largest number x can take is infinity. So minus infinity or plus infinity, the value of x will be still positive. So the largest value f of x can take will be plus infinity. So the range of this function will be 2 comma plus infinity. We are including 2 in this condition because x can take any value, and the lowest value x square can take is 0, which is when x is equal to 0. And when x is equal to 0, we see that f of x is equal to 2. That's why we are including 2 in the range. So the trick is to calculate range, you have to find the smallest and the largest value the function can take. So when we find out the smallest and largest value the function can take, we can find out the range of the function. Coming to the third function, we have f of x equal to x, and x can be any real number. So this is very simple question. We see that f of x is equal to x, and we know that x can take any real value. So any value we put here, that will be the value of f of x. So if we take x is equal to 0, f of x will be also equal to 0. If we take x is equal to root 2, then f of x also will be equal to root 2. So since f of x is equal to x, so we can say that range is equal to R, that is all the real numbers. Since x can take any real value, the range of the function will also be equal to any real value.